Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope your Monday is going well. If this is your first time ever watching one of my videos, hi, my name is Nick Comstock, also known as Caveman, also can be known as Luscious Beard Man. Today, I'm known as less of a beard man because I shaved right before I came on air. And if you tune in every day, you get to see me talk about how wonderful my beard is for the first few seconds in the video. If this is your first time watching, first of all, I sincerely welcome you. If you would do me an awesome favor and subscribe to my channel, I would love to have you a part of my community each and every day. When you subscribe to my channel, make sure you hit the little notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video, which is every day, 7 days a week. I'm here hanging out with you guys. So today, I want to tell you guys a story that happened to a friend of mine in high school. And I was there to witness this SmackDown that he received. And I want to tell you guys about it because I think it's funny. So I'm going to tell you. Back when I was in high school, I was a part of a singing group. And, well, first of all, wait, let me back up. When I was in high school, I started a gospel singing group. Let me get that out of the way. Because my friend Daniel's going to come on here, in the comments and be like, no, I started the singing group and I asked Nick to join. No. My video, my world, that's not how it works. So I started a singing group with my friend Nathaniel Kramer and Josh Moberly, who used to produce this video series. And we decided to have a gospel singing group. I went to a Christian school. We all went to a Christian school, and one of the main reason we had the gospel singing group is because we had chapel 3 days a week. It was like a little mini church service within the middle of our day after lunch. Because, us independent, fundamental Baptist, King James only high school kids are so horrible that for some reason having chapel 3 times a week and church 22 days out of the month, 30 days out of the month is somehow going to keep us on the straight and narrow. But then we get out of high school and we turn into worse heathens than we were in high school. I'm sorry. That's just the truth, and it was thrown in for free. Anyway, so we had chapel 3 days a week, nonetheless. So different groups of kids would get up and would form singing groups, and we would sing different Southern gospel church music, and right before we would go and get our faces ripped off for an hour and a half, and depending on the preacher, it was sometimes 2 hours. And so we would get up and sing these songs, and then we would get our faces ripped off. Well, I'm sorry. That's just so funny. I crack myself up. Anyway, so Daniel, Nathaniel, and I, and Josh were all in the singing group, so we would practice 2 to 3 days during lunch. And because it was the only time we had to practice, because of, Josh, Nathaniel, and Daniel, I didn't really have much to do, but the other guys had a lot to do after school and homework and everything else, so it was just easier for them to practice during lunch. So that's what we did. So we would take our lunch and we would go into a room with a piano and we would practice. We would eat and we would practice during the whole lunch hour. So one particular day, we're working on this song, I Stand Redeemed, which is became very popular back in the early 2000s, and Legacy 5 was singing I Stand Redeemed, and they put it on their album, and everybody was just loving it, and I think it was 2005, 2006, or something like that. And I graduated 2009, so I think I graduated 8th grade in 04, so I think I'm right. So anyway, so I Stand Redeem was a popular song. And so everybody was singing it, including our group and then groups at church and all that stuff. So, well, Daniel, to be honest with you, he was a really, really good singer. At least that's what we let him. At least that's what we let him to believe, that he was a really good singer. No, he was actually a really good singer, and he hadn't gone through the change of life yet, so he could sing really, really high. And for whatever reason, there are two singers in a group that women actually, for whatever reason, go crazy for. The number one singer that women go crazy over is the bass singer. Because for some reason, I still haven't figured it out yet, women like a guy who can sound like he's got a frog in his throat. For some reason, that sounds sexy. I have no idea why. And then the second singer that women go crazy over is the tenor singer. Because for some reason, women also like a guy that can screech and sound like he's got his underwear on too tight. And that's what Daniel did. So Daniel had a solo in the song I Stand Redeem. I believe it was the second or the third verse. He had a whole entire solo. And one particular day, we're practicing during lunch, and Daniel decides to get a little showy in practice. I mean, not a little showy. I mean, he just decides to show all out, man. And he's singing, and all of a sudden, he decides to screech like he's got his underwear on too tight. And he's holding out this note forever and ever and ever. Well, we had this English teacher in our school that was a mix between Miss Trunchbull, Joyce Meyer, and Beth Moore all in one. I mean, honestly. And so she comes marching into our practice. Fee, fi, fo, thumb. Here's the big English teacher. I'm coming to rip your head off. So she comes into practice and she's like, Daniel, the objection of the song is to give glory to God. You are not to scream the song. I'm trying to sound like I'm from England because this lady was really prim and proper. She wasn't from England, but some days she freaking acted like the King of England. Okay, you could not mess around with this woman at all. And so she's yelling at Daniel for 5 or 10 minutes or whatever it is. And my crippled butt is sitting in practice just laughing at the guy because, back in high school, he was real showy and thought he was all that. And we let him believe that. And pretty much he probably still thinks that way, but I still love him. Anyway, so she's saying, you're not supposed to scream the song. You're supposed to give glory to God. And you're not supposed to be all showy. And you're not supposed to be all... By this time, I'm thinking, lady, will you go back to your class and continue giving your students zeros because you don't like their turn paper? Yeah, that's just the carnal Christian in me. So finally, she leaves and we're all just like, Daniel got schooled by the English teacher on music. So, but I guess the English teacher felt that she could give a singing lesson, because she's in a group of old ladies that get together and sing these old opera church songs, I adore him, and how I love him, they sing these big opera bravado songs. And so I think because she figured that she, did that in church and everybody seemed to like it, which they just clapped because they had to. She felt that she was entitled to give Daniel a singing lesson. And so she did that. She did that day, and it was awesome because Daniel just got a music smackdown and didn't know what to do about it. So yeah, this was a funny memory from my high school days, and I just wanted to share it. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I think Daniel's going to come in here in on the comments and say that he started the group, but just remember that no, this is Nick's world. Nicholas George Comstock started the group. I was the Simon Cowell. Okay, I did all the additions and the auditions, and I chose who was in the group, and because Daniel sounded like the Jackson 5, I let him in. So keep that in mind when he tries to come in the comments later today and say that he started the group. Anyways, I hope this story made you laugh. I laugh about it when I think about it, and honestly, I was laying in bed last night and I thought of the story and I was like, you know what? That's really funny. I'm going to tell it. So I hope it made you laugh as much as it's made me laugh telling it again. And thank you so much for watching. And I will see you tomorrow. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.